Hi, beautiful people. Maybe I should turn the camera like this. But I just wanted to have a quick chit chat and talk about femininity and like how important it is and how rare it is, I guess, these days. So let me back up and give you a bit of context. So I kind of learned femininity through African spirituality and through nature, which African spirituality is inherently very natural and it's almost like intuitive, I guess. I feel like a lot of things in this modern day teaches women to like hustle, to have more like ambition and drive, but towards energy is important, right? So the energy is important, but what do we put in the energy into? I feel like we're told to put it into career and like making as much money for ourselves. And let me say this, for women, especially young, beautiful women, it is really important for us to have our own money, right? But for us to lead with that, I think is unwise. And for us to hyper fixate on making money for the sake of making money, like just to like make so much of it to where we neglect other parts of our self-care, I think that is unwise. Personally, I feel like, also I will say, I think these days we're told that femininity is buying all these makeup products, buying all this skincare products and everything like that, like basically only focusing on the exterior. Because here I am talking to y'all about femininity in a t-shirt, very unscripted. I'm just going on a walk and it's hot out here, so I'm not gonna have a dress on. I do have a skirt though. I do have on a little skirt. But that's the thing, like I feel like when you truly do focus on femininity in a holistic way, there is no way to fake it after a while. And so even when you're caught off guard or whatever, you'll still clearly exude femininity, which to me just means of course you care about how you look, of course you put yourself together, but it's because you have an inner self-respect. It's because internally you respect yourself, internally you value and appreciate yourself and pour into yourself and allow yourself rest and allow yourself just a safe, calm space. And in order to cultivate that, it does take rest. Like it really does take not having so much activity going, you know what I mean? Like if you look at where I'm at right now, everything is very calm and still. Like things aren't constantly like, yes, every now and then a huge gust of wind will come or a storm will come and there is a lot of movement and there is a lot of activity. But for that to be the energy constantly, it's chaotic and it's not natural. Like it's literally not natural. So I learned my femininity through nature, like through water, for example, like just learning how to be flexible, learning how to be malleable, not holding on to anything. Water doesn't hold on to anything. Like water literally will go from one state to another state, to gas, to liquid, to yeah, like it'll be a cloud, then it'll be raining, and then it'll like be in the ocean, you know? So it takes a lot of different shapes. It takes a lot of different forms. And I think it's also important just knowing that like us as women, we can be we have like this fluid nature and we simply need a vessel to hold us in order to, like we need a container type of thing. And I feel like it's important to be mindful of the container. So we don't want to, just be with anybody. Like we don't want to just be bundled, like cuddled up with just anybody or giving our attention and our energy to just anybody. Like we don't want to just treat ourselves and our vessel any type of way, because we really are super susceptible to the external. Like children, like a baby, you know what I mean? Like when we are in our purest feminine energy, I do think that we are just so like innocent and like you know how when you have like a healthy partnership, and as women, if you've ever felt safe with the man, even if you felt safe in the beginning and it was all a lie, but if you've ever like felt safe with the man, like you almost start acting like a baby. Like you almost like, it's like your inner child basically takes the forefront of what's going on, you know, like your inner child has showed up. The adult mask that you have to carry to protect yourself and to be hyper discerning and all those things, it can go away. And so basically all your walls fall away and you shed and you become like the most purest version of yourself, which, you know, is our inner child. And so you naturally start to act like that child and start to act like a baby, and you want to be held and all these things. But I just feel like it's because you know, we age. Like we all know people who are 30, 40, 50 years old, but they act like they're 12 or they act like they're 8, you know? And so that's because we might get older, but typically like we also mature and we also learn things through experience and we gain wisdom, and that shapes how we move. You know, you can still be authentic, but at the same time, I feel like you're authentic when you understand why you're doing what you're doing. Like if you're cautious about people, or if you have certain boundaries, if it's related to you and you created them because of your needs, then, you know, it's authentic. But anyway, femininity has to be cultivated intentionally. And yeah, like I said, like I just learned so much from nature. Like I just learned just like be still, because we don't always get these examples of beautiful, soft women, nurturing, caring, like compassionate women. We don't always get those examples in our family all the time, you know, like maybe grandma was like that, but maybe our moms were, and certain things just, at least for me, weren't necessarily passed down and handed down. Now, I do have an aunt who I did learn some of the physical upkeep, why it's important physically. Like, because, for example, she would always wear heels. Shout out to my auntie. She would always wear heels. And so it's something like that, you know? Of course, like I said, the physical is not everything, but it is really important. Because you don't want to only do things for the male gaze, but at the same time, it is important for women, as women, I truly believe that it is important still for us to show up in a way that we feel we look good. Women can think we look good, and men would always also think we look good. That might be controversial. Like I was watching one video, and the woman, her channel is No Nonsense Spirituality, but she talks about how there's certain indicators of folks who have deconditioned from religion and basically have gone like atheists, pretty much, and why they all tend to look the same. They're not necessarily doing it out of authenticity, but they're more so doing the thing. They're rebelling against the things that they were told they can't do. Like if you're told you can't get tattoos, or if you're told you can't get piercings, they'll do that, right? And so like the septum especially, a lot of men have been vocal about how they don't like how that looks. So in order for women to show and communicate through this symbol to the world that they don't care what men think, they'll do that, you know? But for me personally, I feel like I get treated better when I look good. Like I get treated better when I know that I look good. Like like men will do more for you. Like, and if you've never experienced that, like I'm a petite 5'7" beautiful woman, young woman, right? And I really don't even do too much. I'm more of a, like I said, I'm more natural. I do know how to do my makeup. I don't have any on right now, just lip gloss. But when I do put it on and just, walking confidently with my shoulders back and my chin up and, titties up, pelvis forward, not like way back, but like, nice and forward. I have a nice posture, and I just walk with confidence, and I'm probably like meditating. So I feel like that energy, that aura just radiates outward. And because of that, like, I get pretty privileged. Like, I get doors open for me, like if I went out to bars, I'm sure I would get drinks purchased for me. I do get free stuff sometimes, like, or like if someone's making my food, they'll give me extra food, or, whatever it is. And if I'm with people, they also benefit. And I've experienced this too, like with my girl cousins who are also beautiful. Like, we all get just like such great treatment, and like it's just a more positive time. And like, who wouldn't want to bring more joy? Like, I'm not the type of man hater to be like, you know what, I hate men, I don't want them to have any type of pleasure or enjoyment at all, I'm just gonna walk around in bags. I'm somewhere in the middle. I don't hate men, but I still sometimes do get a little timid when there's too much attention on me. But I recognize that that's something that I have to just grow out of, and that might have been like programming. I'm still working through that because I'm not 100% sure why that's a thing. Hello. Oh, I love doggies. So yeah, I'm still figuring that out, but for the most part, I am fine, and I understand. I've come to expect and to understand, like, yes, I'm a beautiful woman. Of course, I'm gonna get looks. Of course, I'm gonna get stares, and it just is what it is. But yeah. So like with femininity, I've just learned to be, light like snow, like airy, fluffy, not too rigid. I just think of all the elements of nature. Like, if you think of a cloud, like a cloud is constantly moving. Like, I feel like a lot of things in life for me, I just am inspired by nature, like just the strength of a tree and like the resilience of a tree. But ultimately, like the calm about it, like there's just something about the peace that nature brings, and how it's cleansing. You breathe in the air, and it's clean, and it's cleansing, and it's refreshing, and it looks good. Like when I stare into a forest of green, I think of it like an eye massage. Like, it's just so pleasurable for my eyeballs. And like, that's just what I want to embody and what I want to encompass. And so what that ends up looking like for me is a lot of meditation, right? Hours of meditation every week. Daily meditation, right? Just so that I can still my mind and calm my mind, because nature does not overthink. Nature has it figured out. Nature has it figured out. Like, it's not contemplating what should I do next, what it just is. And so like this world, this matrix, and that's why I go back to nature, because I feel like the matrix is like the opposite of nature. Not necessarily fully the opposite, but the matrix is just that. It's artificial, and it's its own program, and it was coded by a lot of men. So it doesn't really work for women, right? And so now these days you'll see a lot of conversations about how being a girl boss might be a little overrated, as in you might girl boss your entire life and not have invested in your femininity, like knowing how to put on a soft beat, like just knowing how to beautify yourself, and knowing how to do your nails, to take care of your feet, to make sure your feet are soft, to make sure your skin is soft, like moisturizing your body after you get out the shower, flossing, just really taking care of yourself. I feel like that is such a feminine thing, because you also, not to say that men shouldn't be like this, because they definitely should, but just stereotypically, you do see men kind of neglect certain things and not really care about it. Like, how many men do you know fully moisturize their body after they get out the shower? Like, they might just only moisturize their hands and their face, and be ready to go, you know? Like they're kind of like rushed. They're not really thinking of the details about things. Like they're just tunnel vision on whatever is happening next. And I feel like women, we have a good way of thinking of the whole, like incorporating the whole. Like this nature right now is like an ecosystem. Like the trees are communicating through the roots to other trees and through all these like mycelium networks and like all these root networks, and even like outside of the tree, like these act as antenna as well and communicate. And it's just like a holistic, symbiotic like network that's working together. And I feel like women, we truly are like that. And when we have a family, I think that's why they say men are like the leaders of the family, but really women do a lot of the managing, of the managerial work, like where we'll like come up with what is needed for groceries, or plan some of the trips, or you know, like just certain things. And of course there's men that are also capable of doing this and that help women as well, but it's just like, you know, women kind of, we are able to juggle things, and we're known to be multitaskers. Is that a human? Yeah, it is a human. But anyway, this video is getting kind of long, but that's really all I wanted to discuss was femininity. I think it's just very valuable. And like I said, with a lot of women kind of losing the plot, almost like focusing way too much on their career and on money and on, oh my God, education. Oh my God. I don't know why I keep meeting women who think it's the brightest idea to just keep going to school and just get more degrees and degrees. Like that doesn't make sense to me, because not only is it not free, but that's an institution. It's an institution. You're putting yourself in four walls where you could be learning life experience, or you could be traveling. Like I like to travel. I like to learn and constantly like grow through experience, through lived wisdom. So what that looks like for me is, you know, just giving myself new experiences and seeing what that does to my brain chemistry. Like, I don't know, I just love learning new things. And yeah, I'm gonna turn around now because I didn't want to even walk this far. I have my blanket, so I'm just gonna pull up somewhere. I have a book. I brought my journal. I'm gonna be reviewing my journal and just reading what I've been writing as of late. But yeah, just taking time for stillness and calm. I think that is when we're the most powerful. When we're in our femininity, we're able to attract better with more ease. And that's what I think of when I think of nature. Like nature just grows with ease. And it's so interesting because I've tried to communicate this before with previous partners, and it's like they just don't get it, or they think I'm lying. But like the feminine intuition is just a real thing, and the way we manifest in this life, it's just different because we see things in a certain way. But anyway, that's all for this video, y'all. Let me know in the comments what you think about this discussion. I really enjoyed talking about this with y'all. Anyway, bye.